Sacramento Kings.
Mm.
What can we say about this team? Let's see. There was a lot of rumors about Ben Simmons coming to this team to increase their playoff hopes. And a lot of it surrounded Bagley, Heald, and Halliburton, or just Fox and Bagley straight up. But the most common players that I saw in trade rumors were Heald and Bagley, but mainly because they also like just didn't want to be there either. Yeah. Like there were a lot of, especially Bagley. His dad doesn't. It was his dad, right? His dad is just been complaining.
Has the Twitter fingers, man.
Yeah, he's just been complaining for the last, I don't know, since he was drafted by the Kings.
There's that whole thing with a buddy, right? That we thought he was going to be a Laker.
Yeah.
I think before the draft, we thought that's where Kuzma was going to be a King, and then Buddy Hield was going to be a Laker, and it just never happened.
Never happened. So I mean, and then De'Aaron, if you give him like basically his entire starting five has at some point, or you kind of feel that they just don't want to be there. Like Buddy and Bagley, I think they've pretty much said that they don't want to be there anymore.
I mean, Harrison Barnes just vibing.
Harrison Barnes is chilling.
Wherever Harrison Barnes goes, he just vibes.
It's because
22 and 9.
It's because his agent is like the best agent ever.
Who's his agent?
Remember, I don't know, but remember his contract is ridiculous after the Warriors, and then he went with the Mavericks.
Yeah.
But his contract is like something ridiculous.
Hey, he got paid.
I know, but like it's funny because it's Harrison Barnes.
He's solid, man.
He's solid, but I mean,
hey, Harrison Barnes will give you a bucket.
I know, and it's funny because I feel like he's so old, but the dude's 29.
Yeah, he'll give you a bucket.
Let's see. Let me look at his contract. There was like a contract that he signed that was like kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it was the contract he signed with the Mavericks. It was like a 5-year, right? 5-6 years, something.
He was our marquee free agent splash that 1 year.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then he got traded mid-game.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
that's the one thing I remember about Harrison Barnes is the dude got traded mid-game. That's kind of fun.
Rashawn Holmes got paid this offseason.
Yes, he did, and we thought he wasn't going to be here anymore. Yeah, considering how well he did last year.
He surprised a lot of people last year.
Mm-hmm. I think. Let's see. Let me look at his stats because compared to last season, I know he took a huge jump, but mainly because of the way the game is going. It's so weird how like the 3-point shot is now become like the most bang for your buck effective shot in the game now because of the high pace. Mm-hmm. And then according to like a lot of analytics, the mid-range game is like the worst shot you can take now, right?
Yeah.
So, but what's funny is that he and like players like point guards now, the floater is like I guess the new mid-range pull-up because
I mean analytics is showing it's either get a 3-point shot or get something in the painted area.
Yeah. And for like a guard who has to deal with those two because a lot of actions are either pick and pops considering like these stretch 4s nowadays or these stretch 5s. And then so it's like a two-man pick, 1 pops, 1 rolls. And then when they don't have either that option, then they take the floater. So with Rashawn Holmes, he added the push shot. I don't think I've
ever seen him miss one.
Yeah, this guy's automatic on push shots. I like it was the most amazing thing. Like when this dude got between he
shoots it on like the elbow.
Yeah,
the elbow.
Yeah. It's like free throw line, bottom, because you know how it's the circle, it's the free throw circle.
Yeah.
Between that area, the bottom of the free throw circle, the free throw and elbows is push shot all day, and I never seen him miss. So that opens up a lot of actions for the team, and I feel like a lot of these these centers start doing that shot. It's kind of crazy. Like, imagine if Rudy Gobert, considering you're already fucking 7'3",
if he had
a push shot. If he just get a push shot.
But it's just another effective way to score in an offense. I mean, hey, the Jazz would definitely benefit if Gobert had that.
So compared to last year or the 2019-2020 season, Rashawn averaged 12. It's actually not that big of a jump.
His last 2 years, he's definitely shown that.
Oh yeah. The last 2 years, he's definitely shown that he can grow. He from 2018-2019 to last season, it's an exact 6-point jump, which honestly probably comes from the push shot. And then up the free throw percentage, which obviously helps. More defensive rebounds, but I think that's just because of minutes per game.
His minutes shot up by like 12. He became a starter in Sacramento.
Yeah, because he was still coming off the bench at Sacramento, right? At some point, and then they realized because he 44 games, 38 started, and then last year 61 games, and then became a full starter,
a full-time starter.
Yeah. But obviously the main corner piece here is De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox
had a great year.
He's greatly underrated in today's game. He averaged
25 last year.
Yeah, which is more than LeBron, Kawhi, Cat, Jaylen Brown, James Harden doesn't really count, but Brandon Ingram, Shai, PG, CJ, Westbrook, CJ McCollum. Yeah, and he was only like.
I didn't hear a lot of people talk about De'Aaron last year.
No, he was 0.1 points away from Trae Young. Let's see, because Trae Young got a lot of praise. So let's see. Let's compare Trae Young and De'Aaron Fox. Trae Young averaged 25.3, 43.8% from the field, 34.3% from three, 88.6% from the free throw line, on four boards, 9 assists, and 0.8 of a steal. De'Aaron Fox, 25.2 points per game, 47.7% from the field, 32.2% from three, 71% from the free throw line, which I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. Almost 3.5 boards, 7.2 assists. So they're pretty close, but one gets like highly. Obviously because
the Sacramento thing.
It's Sacramento, and Trae Young did take his team to the Eastern Conference Finals, but still, regular season. We're talking regular season.
De'Aaron Fox would have been an all-star if like the Western Conference wasn't stacked at the guard position.
Yeah, because look at the guards that are here. Obviously in the Western Conference, you got Steph Curry, Damian, Luka, Donovan, Devin Booker, Shai even. So it's just it's so stacked that it's so hard to make a all-star spot. But he's definitely, if he went to the East, which there are again some rumors that Ben Simmons' best situation out of Philadelphia is to go to Sacramento, because I saw this one TikTok that kind of made it make sense. He said that Sacramento is the perfect situation for Simmons because Sacramento hasn't felt pressure in the last 20 years. So if they get him, they'll just be happy to have him. And he doesn't have to do much. Like he just can keep doing what he's been doing because nobody will put pressure on him to shoot or nothing. But
if I'm Sacramento though, like I'm just looking at this roster, I kind of like it.
I like it. We were still surprised about this Davion Mitchell pick.
Yeah.
This Davion Mitchell pick was very. If you guys tuned into our draft stream, we were very confused because they had.
We thought
Go ahead.
I thought they should have went big. or
Yeah.
like a wing, like a Franz Wagner, a Kaminga. I mean, he wasn't there anymore, or like a Shengun. Like I thought that would have been a nice thing, but then they went with another guard, even though they already had Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Fox. So that's why I thought it was a little confusing. But Davion did have a pretty good preseason.
He did. He did.
And like the one thing to know here, I mean, he shot 52% on 19 field goal attempts throughout the whole preseason.
Mhm.
So I mean, if that translates to like the regular season, I mean, kind of makes me hate the pick a little less.
Yeah, and his defense. I mean, off night, his defense is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He is averaging about 0.75 of a block or 0.8 right now of a block. I'm trying to look at what does opponent second chance points 6, opponent points off turnovers is 8.3, but I'm trying to find where like there's shooting splits against them, but I can't. Let me see opponent splits. See, I try to do this, but I don't even know what opponent points.
Or field
See,
goal percentage.
up, yeah, like opponent field goal percentage, but I don't think they go that deep in preseason. So let me see opponent points off TO. I'm assuming it means opponent points scored off a turnover, but I'm struggling to. Yeah, this is like a Reddit post. Yeah, I don't understand how it works, but can you find it? I can't even find it.
Let me check.
See clutch splits, in-game splits, because I know I actually do want to figure this out because advanced, because I want to know his defense.
I mean, his defensive rating was 87, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was like top 50 in the preseason, but behind like a bunch of like all-stars basically. Like Giannis was like 20 something. But yeah, his defensive rating was 87.8. Damn. Come on, NBA. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. I see opponent fast break points, opponent points in the paint.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing like just the overall number.
Yeah. They'll probably have it later. We'll get back to it, but we all know his defensive prowess on the court. Like he locked up, there was like what, 3 videos of him. He locked up Book Night, held him to like I think like 7 points that game or under 10. He locked up De'Aaron. There was like another video he was locking up De'Aaron in practice. So because we thought they needed to go big, considering I think we assumed they were going to go big because we assumed that Bagley and Rashawn wasn't going to be there. I think because I think we were going in there thinking that they were going to get Simmons, or that a Simmons trade was going to happen during draft night. So I think that went to our thinking that day. But Davion Mitchell, obviously a good pick. Turning out,
I like it a lot more than what I saw in draft night.
Yeah, because he what are his shooting splits from 3? Or he's just shooting 52 from the field.
From 3, he's shooting 52%.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And then from the field, it was, where is it at?
Probably
50% from the field. So he shot better from 3 than he did overall from the field last year.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. So I mean, that the defense will speak for himself. The way, I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough to say to myself whether he can create off the bench, because again, he's with this lineup, he's going to, or with this roster, he's going to have the second unit to himself, basically.
Yeah.
Because if Tyrese does come off the bench and you have a young backcourt coming off the bench, then that helps the playmaking load come off in a little bit. But if Tyrese does start,
then that second unit playmaking is kind of
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
But Buddy Hield's not really a playmaker. No
No,
Harkless, no
uh,
Messi Metsu,
Messi Metsu,
no
and then
Tristan.
Tristan. I made a typo.
Yeah,
Tristan Thompson, but yeah. Um, I
uh,
mean, it's a future. It's a for this team. It's a future where like obviously the picks are going to help them. They did well with De'Aaron. They did well with Buddy wasn't drafted by them, right? No, drafted by New Orleans, right?
yeah,
Then he got traded.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
They did well with Davion. They did well with Tyrese last year. So I mean, they're finding a little, diamonds in the rough that I think they're looking,
Yeah.
um, trying to take kind of, I don't know why, but maybe just do unconventional picks, and then they somehow are turning out. So
I want to see Marvin Bagley show us something. I mean, as a second overall pick,
yeah,
guy hasn't been healthy. Played 13 games in 2019 and only 43 last year. He's been hurt. But I mean, and what we've seen from it, I mean, it's been solid. I mean, he's averaged 14 points per game every year of his career
yeah,
and 7 boards. Solid. But it's just, can he play for me every night?
yeah,
Especially with all the guys who are drafted around him. I don't know.
yeah.
If we get a leap from Marvin Bagley this year, I think this team could surprise some people.
Yeah, because it's funny because like the one player that I can compare Bagley to that's like relative to the same age, kind of can stretch the same way as like Jaren Jackson Jr.
Mm.
Like we've seen the steps that Jaren Jackson do. Like, have you seen what he's doing in preseason? He's doing like tween hezzy step back threes
Yeah.
as a 6'11" guy. So, and we went to go see this dude play when he was Sierra Canyon
Yeah.
like 5 years ago, and we saw what this guy can be.
Yeah, the guy was dominating.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it's a different game, and he was playing against like tiny motherfuckers, but
15 and 7. I mean, that's something.
yeah, 15 and 7 is
And he shot 34% from three last year on 2.5 attempts.
yeah.
But, I mean, he's only 20. Maybe Marvin Bagley next year has a little breakout year.
Maybe
18 and 9, 19 and 7. I mean, I know I make fun of it a lot, like the Kings, they passed up on Luka and Trey and all these guys, but like Marvin Bagley, I just want to see the guy succeed.
yeah. Marvin Bagley has had it tough. His
And I mean, it'd be super huge for this team if he developed into what he was supposed to become as the number 2 pick.
yeah, his rap career might end up better than
Oh man,
his basketball career. Hey, I remember listening to him when I first found out like he actually does like kind of take it seriously. He's pretty decent. He's not as good as Dame, but he's pretty decent. So yeah, I mean, obviously this is it's not a good team. By any means, they're probably going to be the same place where they ended off last year, which was
I think they'll be a lot closer to 500 this year though.
they ended. Let me see.
I think they ended like 10 games under.
10 games under 5.
Yeah, I think they'll be closer this year. I think they'll probably be like 44 and 38 or like a 42 and 40.
Really? Above 500?
Yeah, I mean, playing team maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's 10 extra games this year, so more room for teams to win a little bit more games.
Yeah, you're right. Because like my thing is like, again, the same thing because they finished. Yeah, you're right. 31 and 41. We're tied with the Pelicans. So basically we're 2 games.
Yeah, I think they were in that conference with playing last year, and then they just like
they blew it.
Yeah, they lost a couple games. I think they were like 9, like for 60% of the season, and then like the last 2 weeks they lost like 4 or 5 games in a row.
Yeah. So because there were 2 games out of the play-in. So I think I don't know. We'll see. Because again, there are a lot of good teams, and the same theme comes out again, where it's just like even the like somewhat bad teams that we have discussed here could possibly take a couple games from them too. Like the Rockets right now will be a good enough team to beat Sacramento. And so I feel like that.
I don't know about that one. You think so?
I think so. I don't know. It's like
I'm looking at. I don't know. Sacramento.
it's like you know how there are games where there are like two bad teams that play, like Detroit and Cleveland, but it somehow makes for a good game because they're both terrible. So, they could probably take a couple. Sacramento will take a couple from the better teams. I don't see them over 500. Because this is how the West, to me, now that I'm looking at the standings from last year, this is how the West is looking out for me. So like literally 1 through 9 from last year, you're gonna see them again next year, 1 through 9. Like not in the same order, but they're gonna be there 1 through 9. Doesn't matter what order. So literally the Spurs, the Pelicans, the Kings, Timberwolves, Oklahoma, not really Oklahoma, but Houston are gonna be fighting basically for that 10 spot next year. So it's literally just who can win the games that they have to win, like within those like 6 teams that I named, or 5 teams that I named, because they have to fight for that 10th spot. So are the Kings good enough to fight for a 10th spot? I honestly I do, but I think the 10th spot, because the 10th spot was 33 and 39. That was the record. So if you move it to an 82 game season, that I think that translate. What does that translate to? How do you get like, that's like 40? No, it's like 39.
If you had 10 more games or what, 10 wins, what is it?
Yeah. So you just add like, or not really add
40,
10 wins.
41 and or like 44 and 38.
See, 39 divided by 82. It's 47.5. So 38 divided by 82. 46. Yeah. So 38 divided by 82. Yeah, so 38 games is the threshold, basically. But
it'll be a 41 team.
Yeah, so 30. Can this team win? If this team can win above or at 38 games, then I'm pretty sure they can get this 10 seed.
They'll win 43 games this year.
They'll win 43.
De'Aaron Fox. I like De'Aaron Fox. Harrison Barnes adds another wing scorer. Tyrese Halliburton, year 2. Rashawn
38,
Holmes,
42 games.
Rashawn Holmes, the shot blocker. They'll win 43 games.
43 games.
They'll win 43 games.
I don't know what.
There's been years in the past where Tennessee's won like 44 games and make it.
I know. I don't know. 43 games. The Mavericks
Clip it,
won 42 games last year.
Yeah, like it's COVID. We get 10 more. We're winning 52 games this year. I swear, I think they're gonna surprise some people.
Okay. We'll clip that for later. So yeah, because again, like look at the schedule. I mean, obviously, again, the schedule like matters. The quality of the roster takes into account home court advantage and team opponent and rest days. Again, shout out Ed Comfer on Twitter. You keep doing what you're doing. You make sick ass graphics. But yeah, so again, the dot on the left is the schedule, the strength of schedule before Christmas. One in the middle, post Christmas. One on the far right, it's post All-Star break. So right now, Sacramento has the, let's see, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 24. So 23rd hardest schedule. Yeah, 23rd hardest schedule. So it pretty much starts off starts off pretty like, parallel. Like it's just equally as hard from the start of the season to about post Christmas. So around where it matters. So like by what is it? By post Christmas. So around February to the end of the season. So February to April. So 2 months. Their schedule gets a lot easier. So could this be where they get, because this is about February to April is about 20 some games. Yeah, 25, 20 some games. So can they win 15 and that'll round them out to your 43 miles?
They're gonna do their business at the beginning of the year, man.
In the beginning of the year? Because
and then they'll tail off. Like they're gonna be the surprise team going into the All-Star. Oh, look at the Kings. They're somehow 6th in the West. And then people are gonna be looking out and then they just tail off in Kings fashion.
In Kings fashion. Yeah, because I mean I see a lot of Oklahoma, I see Minnesota. This is towards like from February to April. I see Oklahoma, Minnesota twice, Washington, Chicago, Oklahoma, New Orleans, San Antonio.
Like they're gonna play the Lakers. You're gonna see the House of Highlight post. De'Aaron Dagger over Braun as the Kings win their 4th in a row. That's what we're gonna see.
It always, what's funny? It always happens. The Kings always take one from the Lakers in some like dramatic fashion every year. I don't know. I love to see those games, but I mean, right now, I'm just face value in these face value in these in the schedule. I mean, it looks again. Shout out to the guy who made this graphic because it looks exactly it looks exactly like what I'm seeing right now. They kind of have a hard. It looks like what they have is like one tough West Coast trip in the beginning of the year, and then just before or just after like the end of January, they have a very tough East Coast trip, and then they have like 2 or 3 games that they could take, then a hard team, and then 2-3 games they could take, and then a hard team. So it's totally, I guess it's totally possible to win 43 games. I still think that's too much, but that's your pick, so we're gonna clip that.
We'll see, clip it.
We'll see. So yeah, please make sure to, if there are any Kings fans out there, there usually are. Please make sure to subscribe first of all, like the video. And are you as hopeful as Miles, even though he's not a Kings fan, that you guys are going to win 43 games with the roster you have?
Hey, when they win 43 games, they're gonna be calling me a basketball Yoda.
A basketball Yoda. I really don't know. I really don't know. That's very optimistic of a team.
I'm a Rashawn Holmes truther.
You are, and I have him on my fantasy team. So, I took it from you.
Asshole.
So, oh wow, bro, we could go to a Kings game. Oh look, we can go to the Kings Clippers game at Staples Center for $6. Let's go. What's the cheapest home ticket?
$6.
No, that was for them. Like at what is it? What's the stadium called? Golden One Arena.
Corral Center.
Golden Corral Center.
50 cents.
Let's see. Versus, I think it's against New Orleans. $14.
Oh my
god. Sergio Yoshi. What's the most expensive? 72. Yeah, the most expensive is 72, which is a home game against Golden State. Huh. Not even the Lakers. That's crazy. Oh, it is. Never mind. It is the Lakers. 80. Okay. It's not bad. Drive to Sacramento to watch LeBron for a cheaper price than over here. Did you see the prices for the Lakers tickets?
No, it's expensive like every year.
Yeah, it's literally now 600 plus. Like for opening day.
That's why you got to see a team play the Clippers.
Pretty much for opening day, it's because Adrian was checking because he wanted to go. like when I went to the Clippers, the Jazz playoff game when they played over here, it was like $200 for like the inner bowl, right?
Mhm.
And then that exact seat, or literally that exact section for the opening day was, keep in mind, game one of the regular season, right? Was like $800, $600, something like that.